right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Orange Couch Crush, the show where we sit down with fellow Davis colleagues and other industry leaders and ask them a few questions, to try to get to know them a little better. Today, we're super excited to have Jason Billups from JB Associates on the show. Welcome to the couch, Jason.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
How long has JB Associates been around?
21 years.
Wow.
I started the year that my daughter was born, and back in 2003.
How comfortable is the orange couch on a scale from 1 to 10?
Well, me being 6'4", it's too low to the ground, but I will give it a 6.5.
Wow.
So it's about getting back up. It's going to be the hardest part.
Yes. Jason, how did you get started in the industry?
Actually, the story is kind of short. My wife, which was my girlfriend, I was getting a lot of trouble in college, and she said, find a hobby or we're done. So I found a hobby. I stayed in the garage. I started competing. So for a decade, I basically competed. So even though that JB Associates only been around since 2003, I actually started in the industry in 1992.
Oh, wow, I was 1 year old.
Wow, you just aged me very well. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
I would be able to predict the future.
Oh.
Yes, I think that, everybody wishes they had different superpowers, but predicting the future will give you the ability to do for the good and try to prevent from the bad.
Describe your perfect pizza.
Well, a perfect pizza would be the one that you could eat and not get fat. But I don't think that really exists. So I will just say a perfect pizza is the one that you can eat with friends and enjoy.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I'm a nice guy. Sometimes.
If you could have a dinner party with one fictional character, who would it be and why?
Gumby. And I know that's odd, but when I was growing up, and he was one of these characters, or it was always, not really had a major role, but was always part of people, and everybody knows who he is. And he was on Saturday Night Live. So, if you go back and look at Saturday Night Live, then you'll know why.
If you were a professional wrestler, what would your entrance song be?
This is how we do it.
Oh, nice.
Montel Jordan.
This is how we do it.
Did you have any imaginary friends when you were a child?
Just me, myself, and I. No, I did not. I did not, and I didn't talk to myself, but no, I did not have any imaginary friends.
It was worth the question.
Yeah, well, I was always doing sports, so I never really was by myself much. So I played football and basketball, so I didn't really have a lot of alone time to have imaginary friends.
What is your favorite dad joke?
Dad joke?
You got any? Any good ones?
Let me think for a second, because there is one that I used to say. It's not my favorite joke, it's the only one I can remember. And when I was going to school, when I was going to college, I actually have a college degree in engineering. So there was always a joke for the geeks, right? So they would say, hey, I have a joke, but it's still under construction. It's not funny, it's the only one I can remember.
It's kind of funny. And what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
A man is always good at his word. You can do a lot of things in your life, and your actions speak louder than your words. But if you can't follow up with your actions to your word, you're only as good as that.
What advice would you give your past self?
My past self. I would have to say that, always stay positive. Do not react by emotions, and look for the future. Look, think about when you say certain things, what can be damaging, but at the same time, try to have fun. That's what life's about. It's having fun.
Well, thanks for the advice, Jason.
Yeah.
And
You can tell I'm a dad, right?
yes.
So,
I love it, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on an episode of the Orange Couch Crush. It was a pleasure to have you.
well, thank you. Appreciate it.